Have you ever lost your keys? Of course you have.
You left your keys on the table back there.
You know that frantic feeling of patting down your pockets, digging through bags, retracing your steps. Sucks, right? Well, what about with your computer? How many times have you said, "Where is this file?" It's like the digital version of "Where are my keys?" In our lives, personal, work, business, all of it, we are creating and downloading so many files, documents, attachments, forms, brochures, photos, videos, music, you name it. And too often, our digital space becomes unorganized and overwhelming, just like paper stacking up on your desk, ready to fall over. So you can see why digital organization, file management, or just knowing where your stuff is on your computer is so important. So let's look at some things that are stopping us from getting to that organized place, that place that is much more efficient and gives us much less stress. Four major reasons that are keeping us from being more organized and more efficient, and what we can do to get over those hurdles and get to a place where we know where our stuff is. Number one, overwhelm. When you have too many things laying around, whether it's in your real physical space or on your computer, it just feels like there's too much here to even start. You don't know where to start. Picture your room and it's filled with boxes. This has happened if you've ever moved. Sometimes you just don't know where is the most efficient way to start. Well, you know what? There's no real right answer, whether it's in your physical space or on your computer, except to just start. To reduce some of that feeling of overwhelm when you're trying to start to manage your files on your computer, start with something very easy. One thing, empty your recycle bin. Or look at the files on your desktop and start to move those into one other folder, and you'll deal with that later. At least clear your desktop space so it's not so cluttered and doesn't give you a feeling of stress because there's so much here that you have to do. Or just spend some time, 15-20 minutes, looking at one folder or your desktop and delete the things that you know you are never going to use. You just starting some action is going to help push down that feeling of overwhelm, give you some momentum to keep going and figure out what the next logical step is while you are trying to declutter your computer. Number two, procrastination. This kind of goes hand in hand with overwhelm. You see a big pile, you know this is work to be done, you don't want to do it, you put it off. Or you think this is going to take too much time, I don't have the time right now, and you put it off. And then you do that again, and then you do that again, and you do that again. And you just keep putting it off, and you don't get to it. With procrastination, it's kind of like procrastination in any other space. You need to get started. So one thing I would recommend, don't look at how long that cleaning might take, because realistically, it could take days or weeks. You need to take your time and organize things well so you can find them later. I mean, that's the whole point of doing this, to manage your files so you can be efficient and find them. But to start off with, instead of looking at the task, look at the time. Pick a time slot. You can start short, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and you're only going to do this for 30 minutes. Put on a timer or a podcast or a show, and then just work for that time. If even that's too overwhelming, 5 minutes is enough. Just pick 5 minutes, schedule 5 minutes, do something for 5 minutes. I'm going to delete files for 5 minutes, or I'm going to look at my downloads folder for 5 minutes. You'll find often that 5 will lead to 10 and lead to 15 and get you started. Number 3, lack of a system. If you don't have a clear organizational structure, then chaos happens quickly. Think of any room in your house. If you've got spoons and forks everywhere, you don't know where to find them. And after a while, you don't even want to look for them. But if you always know that the place where they go is this drawer, it makes your life so much easier when you're going to use one or going to put it back. So think of that when you are using your file. One way to try to keep down the chaos and the disorganization is when you deal with a file, immediately or as soon as you're done with it, put it in its place. Put it where it should go, or that makes logical sense to you. That means if you start a new document, when you save it in a folder that is logical for this file, or create a folder that is logical for this file. If you download something from, let's say from the website or from your email, and you open it and look at it right away, decide where it should go, in the recycle bin or in another designated folder. What's also helpful is actually creating a structure for your folders. And to do that, it's helpful to know how this whole file system works, so you can create folders, subfolders, name, rename, and move files around. And that is something that I cover in our other videos and that we go over in our community. Because while this is a basic skill, it's an important skill to have. And knowing how to manage your files you'll reap so many rewards in time and efficiency. You'll just make your life easier. It makes using other applications easier, and it makes you more effective in your business when you can find your work. And number 4, lack of skills or knowledge. Organization is a skill that must be learned. But even if you're a natural at it, if you don't understand how to use the tools or the principles, it's hard to put your organization system in place. File Manager is a tool, and it's a tool that you want to use to keep your computer organized, to keep your files organized and have folders with structure and be able to quickly find your work. In the I Get It Tech class, we go through step by step how to work with File Manager. In the I Get It Tech community, we go in deeper with more detailed learning and opportunity for live Q&A sessions and one-on-one tutoring to make sure you really understand the core basics of this feature. Effective file management is so important for your business for so many reasons. Your productivity is increased. You're better able to collaborate when you can find the files that you want to share and receive the files that are being shared to you. You're compliant if you're in an industry where you need to know where your information is to be able to show it. You'll make better decisions when you have the information at your fingertips. And it's just good for your business to continue running no matter what. When you know where your files are, when you have backups, you're able to function and you're able to recover if necessary. Strong file management is a good foundation for a lot of your business practices. So I hope you found something here that's useful. And check out the other videos that go into more detail about file management and what are files. Or check out our community, the I Get It Tech Classroom. Look in the description below.